morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Stephanie Keats, and I'm your host today at Radio Works World, and I'm here with the lovely Marina Nani. Today, I'm going to share with you my journey over the last few years in South Africa, the impact this has had on many lives, and the opportunities that have come from this. But before we go on, I'll just pass you over to Marina to say hello.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the most amazing episode today, which is hosted by our brilliant host, Stephanie. Over to you, Stephanie.
Okay, well, it's great to be with you all. Today, I'm just going to say, what I've been doing the last few years. 8 years ago, in 2008, I went over to live in South Africa. I've been part of working for a charity based in the UK for a few years, well, for a year actually, and the charity is called Soul of Africa. Soul of Africa's mission in life is to create sustainable employment for previously unemployed ladies by teaching them the skills of hand sewing and hand stitching, mainly in leather. And then after that, it also, all the profits it makes, that goes to AIDS orphans and vulnerable children. So we moved over as a family to Durban in 2008. Because the charity had gotten too large to be based in the UK anymore, because we needed to be within the factories with the people that were sewing and really developing the opportunity over there. It's amazing. You can actually deal with these ladies with very little education, not a lot of opportunities in life, and not much hope, to be honest, and to give them a skill, to teach them the art of hand sewing, which is not only for the business that we were involved in, but can take them forward into their other adventures in life. It gives them the ability to earn their own income as it goes forward, which is amazing. And it's a great feeling that you know that you're helping people to actually have a future, to be able to pay for their children's medical needs, their children's schooling, food on the table, all the things that we take for granted, they can't do without having money. South Africa is a poor country in certain areas, and they need a lot of help. Over to you, Marina.
Stephanie, I I almost moved to South Africa myself a couple of years ago.
Okay, great.
And I love the people. I have lots of friends there, and I think it's heaven on earth.
It is. It's a most beautiful, beautiful country.
Of course, because I did not spend that long there, I was just been a couple of times, like 3 weeks, then another 2 weeks, and then it's just a different experience from yours. So of course, for me, I think that actually it was the other way around. I felt that I have so much to learn from them.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I agree, actually.
Because they come from a place of pain and they don't complain.
They don't complain. And they have the most amazing family setups and community spirit, which I think we've lost a lot in our world these days. They help each other out the whole time. Communities stick together and support each other. You have a lot of child-headed households where the parents have died from AIDS or TB, and the oldest child can be 13, 14 years old, bringing up their siblings. It's heartbreaking to see, but amazing at the same time how they get by and how they move forward with their lives.
I can tell you this, Stephanie, from what I know from my friends, because sometimes I invite them to our show to share their story and inspire us all. And Lisa, I knew that for them to go online and connect with anyone outside their own community, they have to walk to the next village, which is a couple of kilometers or miles or more, and then they have to go and buy a bundle. They call it a bundle to connect and be able to be on the show.
Yeah.
And they make huge sacrifices for everything. Everything, it's most of us can't even imagine what type of sacrifices they have to make for anything. Anything we take for granted, over there is a challenge, and they overcome the challenge. They have that gene of being of winning. They
Yeah,
have the winning gene,
it's
and
interesting how,
this is what I want to show, that in effect, when working with you, when listening to your story and looking at how much you create for these amazing people, for their communities, I'm thinking we are not doing enough.
yeah, well, it's I think, in my opinion, you can't change the world by yourself, but if you can do a little bit, you go a long way towards helping. You know, if everybody did a little bit, then it would be a lot nicer place to live in. But these you're absolutely right, Marina. They will get on their 2 feet and they'll walk their kids to a hospital. It can be a 4 or 5K walk to get them to hospital, to get their antiretroviral drugs for if they have, say, HIV, or the government says that everybody has access to ARV drugs, but in effect, you know what, they don't have a car that can get them there. Unless they can actually get to the clinics or the hospitals to get those drugs, they don't have access to them at all. But some way they prevail and they make a life, albeit a very, tough life. What we're trying to do is just try and make that life a little easier and give them hope for the future. If you can empower somebody with skills that can actually make them a living, an ongoing living, skills that they can transfer to their children as well, and teach them a handcraft skill that they can actually make money of them, then you're going to actually make a huge impact on their life. There's no point giving them a £10 note, £20 note, $20 note. It's so short term. If you can empower them to earn their own money, then you're making an impact in their lives.
And this is exactly what you are doing. This is your mission. You took responsibility for a great mission, and it's not about you, and it's not about me. It's about the people you help directly by creating the source of income, by creating a system where they could use their skills, everything they got already, and they will make a living. They'll put food on the table and they will perform. And I know they will perform.
Yeah.
I know that China used to be the place where people go and open factories, and we both know that is changing. And I understand from you that there are great opportunities opening right now as we speak in South Africa.
Absolutely. I do a lot of work with American retailers and some English retailers. And what we're doing is now trying to create, establish South Africa as a credible manufacturing source for the outside world. Manufacturing in South Africa has been very local based, and the local retailers are now bringing all of their manufacturing back to South Africa because of the exchange rate, the problems in China, the duty rates into South Africa. But they've stranglehold on the factories a little bit. With the exchange rate going the way it has, it now makes South Africa a competitive option for retailers. They're geared up. The factories are good. They have a lot of government support now. The DTI is involved in the clothing factories, the footwear factories, a lot of the production factories of all sorts of minerals and things, and giving them government grants to buy new equipment, to buy CAD machines so they can design properly. What they just need is a little bit of hand on developing products and on-trend products, which is where we come in. We are the liaison between the retailer and the factories. We work with the retailers to come up with new designs, new products, new trends, put them into the factories, get the sampling going, and actually get the factories coming up with, we put one shoe on the table, we make them come up with 5 uppers. So they then are proactive and developing their ranges. We make it easy for the retailer to buy from us and getting all the systems into place for them. We've been teaching them about export, all the export paperwork you need. So we're empowering the factories, and if the factories are empowered and have big orders, they can employ lots more people. There's a 25% unemployment rate in South Africa at the moment, which is millions of people. If we can get more export going out of Africa, then, you know, it's a win-win for absolutely everybody. It really is. There's no language barriers in South Africa. It's duty-free to Europe, to UK, and to America. There's no quotas, and there's no labour shortage, Paul, obviously, with all of that unemployment. So we have a massive opportunity to get out there and, you know, show what South Africa can do.
Stephanie, comes to mind Nelson Mandela, who said that he will never surrender, and only through hardship, sacrifice, and action, freedom can be won.
Yeah.
Now freedom got its price, and now struggles, freedom yourself from struggles, from economic hardships, is another story, is the next organic stage.
Yeah.
In South Africa and other countries which are coming out from a dark age are fighting. It is like a continuous fight for freedom.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and they just need to be upskilled in the art of the modern world, I suppose. I mean, South Africa is a modern country. It's a third world country pretending to be a first world country, because Johannesburg, Durban, Cape Town are the most beautiful places you could go to. When visitors go to South Africa, they see all these lovely places and the amazing scenery and fantastic buildings. However, they don't go out into the rural country where most of the people live. So if we can uplift those people in the rural areas, education is being uplifted gradually in South Africa. It's not great, to be honest, but they are being uplifted. All of the factories that we deal with, to get the government grants, they have to have a training facility within their factory, which is absolutely awesome. So they'll bring in 50 people maybe each season to be trained at the facility. And, you know, not all of them will get jobs, because not all of them will be capable of doing the jobs, but they are upskilling these people the whole time and taking them into the factories. So it's a continual of people being upskilled. We have no labour shortage, no skills shortage now because of the amount of people coming through. Really, I honestly believe that South Africa is ready to explode in manufacturing. They just need to be given the chance to prove what they can do.
Well, I think the world is watching, and everybody is very excited about what South Africa becomes. And for you to be part of that process and enable people to gain a place in society, to gain a degree, a certification, a set of skills that will free their financial struggles, I think it's amazing. I think it's a very sophisticated job, but it's a divine job. And could you explain to our listeners, Stephanie, how is the process happening? So from one hand, there is the force, the people who, the workforce, the people who are looking for jobs, and they could get qualifications, and they could get the jobs based on their qualifications. And from the other hand, you open a new gate for Western countries and corporations who want to connect with South Africa and provide jobs for those skilled people and create better quality products. So how is the process? Is like a karmic coin to me. On one side you have the local people, on the other side is the rest of the world.
Yeah, I mean, we're working with a few retailers, and 3 big retailers are working with in America at the moment. And we've put a presentation together on South Africa, what we believe they can do, what they can, you know, and given a whole brief overview of the logistics of working with South Africa and the infrastructure that South Africa already has in place. And then we'll work with the retailer on developing product. We come up with new styles, or they come up with new styles. That goes down to the factory for a sampling process. And so we're then working with the different factories in South Africa. We're working with 3 3 mainly, and there's another one on board, coming on board in the very near future, that offer different areas, either men's shoes, ladies' shoes, bags, or whatever it is. We will then take in on-trend products to them. Not that they don't know what's happening in the world, but they need to know what the big retailers in America are looking for. They may produce a whole range of ladies' high heel shoes, but these factories, retailers are not looking for that. They're looking for flats or something. So we can take a product to them and then work with them on developing a whole collection around that product to put on the table in front of the retailer, to make the retailer's life easy. All they have to do is say, okay, that's a great shoe, that's a great shoe. We will put that into our collection. We will procure the orders for the factories and be the hands, eyes, ears on the ground for the retailers. We have a whole structure of people in South Africa that are in and out of the factories the whole time, down to the tanners, the leather makers, the pattern cutters, all of those people, the export departments. We are the hands, eyes and ears for the retailer, as well as for the factory. So we can procure orders for these factories and offer the retailer an easy solution for manufacture. They just got to, opening a new country of manufacture is always a little nervous for a retailer because they're used to going to China, they're used to going to Vietnam, they're used to going to these other places. So it's a bit of a risk for them to open a new country of origin. But we'll take small orders. We take small orders to open that door and prove what we can do. And I'm convinced that it's going to be an explosion. In the next couple of years, there'll be an explosion with manufacturing in South Africa.
Wow, Stephanie. Most people think that the world needs the change and they have an opinion on the change. Mm-hmm. But the truth is that the world is only changing by your own actions, example, not based on your opinion. And I so admire your courage. And if Nelson Mandela was standing up for against violence and for freedom, to me, you stand up with courage to manifest the change that is needed, and is a mindset. Takes a very, very strong person to help others help themselves.
Well, it's very rewarding too, Marina. Hey, it's nice to, when you can see the impact that you can have on someone's life. It's very rewarding. What are we here for at the end of the day?
So this is your legacy, and I hope our listeners are taking notes. They will get in touch with you, either whoever they want to support the process, through the process, mm-hmm. The local people or other corporations who could benefit from working with local people in South Africa. And I think at this time you should indicate where is the best place where people could find you. I hope you'll come back here with success stories to inspire us all. And I know you are on a mission. And I know that if something doesn't work, you'll find something else which is going to work. And I see in you so much determination and so much passion. It's as if you are the soul of South Africa. Over to you, Melanie. Stephanie, please tell us what is the best way to be contacted.
Okay, the best way to get hold of me is either through my website, which is www.shoesourcesa.com, or through my email, which is Stephanie_Keast@me.com. Keast spelled Keast. I'd love to hear from you.
Wonderful. So if you are listening and you feel that you could contribute to Stephanie's mission and helping the locals or helping the world to benefit of what the locals are creating right now, I think it's time for you to connect, to get in touch and bring about your ideas, your thoughts, your questions, anything that will help us move on and help Stephanie being at the end of a big struggle and becoming a new era in her career and her legacy, where everybody joins in and everybody is aware that making the change is not an opinion, is an experience.
Awesome.
From both of us, till next time, is goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.